Are you frugal and like to squeeze every stinking penny out of your toothpaste tube? Well, I got some tips that'll save you more than just a few pennies. Hey guys, how's it going? And thanks for coming. I'm Nick and this is Real Life Money, where we talk about real life and money. Please do not forget to subscribe. Alright, so in this video we're going over 10 frugal tips that you can use to save money. And I use a bunch of these and I thought I could help you guys out as well. Side tip, you're not being cheap. It's just called being smart. Now let's just get right into it, guys, with the first frugal living tip, which is gas in our car. So this could have a few aspects to it. The first thing that we're going to focus on is the gas prices, the cheapest one. So I know for at least around my area, I heard like national average, the cheapest time to get gas is Monday. For me, usually like Monday morning. Sometimes for me, I drive around and see what the cheapest is and I fill up. Now, I'm not one to drive miles out of my way to save a few cents, because when you really think about it, it's simply not worth it. If you end up, let's say if you do waste 5 cents and you fill up for 10 gallons, that's 50 cents. Yeah, if I could rather save 50 cents, I will, but I'm not going to bend over backwards to save 2 quarters. I think it really boils down to how we actually drive. If you have jackrabbit starts and you just accelerate hard, obviously you're going to use more gas. Also, if you drive faster, let's say over 60 miles an hour. I live in New York. Average speed is like 95 on the low end. But the faster that you go, the more gas that you consume. Just relax with the gas. Chances are it's probably not a huge deal where you're going. You probably don't even want to go there anyway because it's probably your job. Chill. And the last aspect is when to actually fill up. Some say you should do it at half a tank, at a quarter a tank, or even lower. So, the pros of having a completely full tank is that there's less air in the tank, so less gas evaporates. However, a con to that is that with more gas, it's heavier. So that takes a lot more to push your car. So that means the opposite. If you have less gas, more air in the tank, so more gas could evaporate. I'm not sure if that's a mental thing, but I think I see that happening. But that also means less weight, so it takes less to move your car. So at the end, I kind of think it just evens out. If you kind of average half a tank, that would be ideal. I'm not going too much more into this because I think anything further than this isn't really worth our time. Which would then bring us into frugal saving tip number 2, which is lunch prep. Now this could either lead for like preparing our lunch the day before or just in general meals. Doesn't only have to be lunch, it could be dinner as well. Now I know if you go out for lunch, you are easily spending like $10 on a lunch. If you do that every single day throughout your work week, that's $50, times it by 4, that's $200 just on food that you eat, and that money is gone. So making and preparing our meals beforehand does one of two things. One, it'll obviously be cheaper. If you go to a supermarket, I just found out possibly my new favorite store of Aldi. It's a great store that you could use. It's basically third-party brands. Because normally you're paying for the name for well-known brands. It's basically the same thing if you go like an off-name brand. I found some pretty cool food items there. Hint, their breakfast sandwiches are like real dull, so maybe pass on those. However, generally speaking, you can definitely prepare a meal. You get a bunch of food, prepare for the week. It could only cost you maybe a couple to few dollars per meal instead of that $10. And who knows, it could actually even be healthier for you, so it could help with that gut. Coming up on the third frugal tip, which is credit cards? What? What are you talking about, Nick? If you're spending more on credit cards or have debt in credit cards, how is that saving money? And yes, that is not saving money whatsoever. Debt is horrible. Credit card debt, especially, is detrimental to our financial beings. However, if you're wise about it, because people can be, and hopefully you're wise enough to realize that you're not wise with credit cards, so you don't use them. But they do offer cashback rewards. Like the default now is 1%. I have some cards that give 2% on a lot of places, such as like dining out, and also 3% on my personal favorite, 3% back on gas, relating back to number 1 frugal tip. So you could actually save up. I mean, it's not a make or break thing, but you get a few bucks there. If you guys are interested, what are the best credit cards out there? I do have another video going into that. I'll leave a link in the description so you can check out some great credit cards. Use it wisely. And at the same time, they actually have a good amount of sign-up bonuses. So do not spend more than you normally would. You know, if you're going to spend money that you of course would have spent already, then you just put it on a credit card. Then you could end up getting like $250, $500 cash back, and that's not bad. Don't tell Dave Ramsey. Number 4 frugal tip would be free drinks at restaurants. Now, free drinks, what I'm considering is getting water. I mean, if you're a girl, you might get free drinks bought by someone else that might be creepy about it, but when I say free drinks, I'm talking about water. If you're getting sodas, if you're getting alcoholic beverages or anything like that, obviously the price is jacked up. Every once in a while, if you want to do that, fine. Just realize you're paying a ridiculous premium. You're paying few to several dollars, even alcoholic beverages to go up to $10 per drink versus a free water. And side tips with restaurants, you could also like relax with the appetizers and desserts, because you're probably going to fill up on entree and you're not going to eat everything. And if you do want a dessert, you could just pre-plan your meals and cook some brownies at home. They taste better and they're cheaper. Unless it's that chocolate lava cake, I'm not helping, am I? Now moving on to number 5 frugal tip, which is very interesting that I'm interested in, is shopping around for the best price online. So of course we are all knowledgeable, hopefully at least, to Amazon. Probably, definitely the top prices out there. Sometimes it could be cheaper in, let's say, like the store's website, certain sales and everything, or in store, once you like factor in like shipping and everything like that. However, it's still good to shop around, not only on items, but could also be things to do. Some other great websites that I sometimes use is Groupon. You could sometimes, you know, it's services, products, or things to do in your local area. You could save good money there. And it also opens your mind up to things you had no idea existed in your local area. Another great site, kind of similar to Groupon, you're saving on things, but it's called SeatGeek. That's with concerts or anything like that, sporting events, and it actually shows you the tickets that they have, kind of like StubHub in a way. Ticketmaster, I'm not too knowledgeable about those, but I personally use SeatGeek sometimes. Tickets, search around, because they could vary drastically. I recently got some concert tickets from there, and they're actually good priced. Now, it actually shows you, like, if the area is green, that means it's a good deal. If it's like orange or red, then it's just way too expensive. So it's pretty cool that you can compare prices like that. I'm not sure if it has a referral program. I'll check it out after recording this, and I'll put it in the description if you want to sign up through there. And I was about to go on, but I almost forgot this awesome, it's like a browser attachment thing, kind of like Ebates. I mean, that's another one, Ebates, if you want to go through that. However, something similar is honey.com. So you know websites have like those promo codes that you put in and then you get a discount off. Well, what Honey does, it's pretty awesome. Completely free, not sponsored or anything. I use them sometimes. What it does, it just goes through all the codes that are out there and just tests them in that promo code box. And it gives you the best deal that it could find. Pretty cool. You could actually end up saving a good amount of money. I would check them out. I might second guess on the actual website honey.com because it might bring you to like Bears or something like that. So I'll get the correct address. It might be a little different. I'll leave it in the description if you want to go to the actual website. It has nothing to do with the edible honey. Number 6 frugal tip is living on less. Now this could be many things, and this could actually be a lifestyle, or like a minimalist lifestyle, because this isn't like a diet type of thing. It's not like you're going to save for a few months so you build up something and then you're going to go and spend it. If you actually live like this type of person, this lifestyle, you save all this money throughout your entire life. And it's not like you're suffering through it, you're just realizing that you don't need all these extra things. So for example, like we kind of just mentioned before with the restaurants, is food. We don't need as much food as we think. Yes, you need food to survive. You don't need a 3-course steak meal to fill you up while your button bursts on your jeans. Some other examples, I mean, I know for me personally, shampoo. It says use a certain amount. I use like half of that. It's not even like, you just use it and it's sufficient. Could be that, soap, or anything like in the bathroom basically. Continuing with other things, could be TV. Maybe you're paying for extra channels that you don't even watch, or if you don't even watch TV, you're watching YouTube videos because they're obviously better than TV. So you could straight up cancel the TV service or just get a lower package. Something similar, the internet, or your phone. Either get rid of your landline phone. Does anyone have landline phone? If you guys have landline phones, leave a thumbs up. Thumbs down. I don't really know, but you could definitely vary with the phone and also internet. You might have like a higher package, so if you lower it, you could still live on the same data, kind of with phones as well, and you could still live like that. Number 7, which is something I adapted recently, which is combining meals. Now I do this on the weekend for multiple reasons. And when I say combine meals, I'm saying instead of eating breakfast and then like lunch a few hours later, just combine them. So you have brunch. That does save money because instead of 2 meals, you have 1 meal. It could be 1 simple meal or 1 larger meal to make up the 2. But I also love this because it saves us time. It takes a bunch, like going somewhere or preparing something. It could save you at least an hour, maybe 2. Our time is limited, especially during our weekends. So if you cut a whole meal out, you could actually do something other than eating. You could also kind of play around with this, maybe have like a huge brunch or lunch and then have like a smaller thing for dinner, so it doesn't take as much time or money for the later lunch. It's also not healthy to eat like past 8 or 9 o'clock. Number 8 frugal living tip, which is reusing things. Now I'm not saying to share the same toothbrush throughout your whole entire family. Some people might, which is gross, but you can reuse things. One popular thing right now is those reusable shopping bags. Also with water bottles, I use that a lot. I have 1 water bottle and I just refill it. Real simple. Similar to towels. Instead of paper towels, you gotta keep buying them. Downy, no thanks. You have like a towel. You can wash it and then you just reuse it. Also with plates and Tupperware. Now, I mean, paper plates are easier. They're a lot easier. But over the long term, you cannot deny the fact that it's going to be cheaper if you actually have plates that you wash and everything like that. Also Tupperware. Put it in the Tupperware box, great for leftovers, meal prep. You can even reuse diapers. I'm kidding, don't reuse diapers, that's gross. Now the last 2 tips are kind of mental, and I think they could actually help us a lot. So number 9 frugal tip is eliminate, or at least drastically reduce, our social media usage. Now this could also mean like Amazon and eBay. If you're just normally searching for shopping, quit that out so you don't buy anything. However, this isn't necessarily saving on money per se. However, it's saving on time. As in, what else could you be doing with your time? Yes, you could spend some amount of time saving a few cents. However, you could do something else to save dollars. There's an opportunity cost for everything. Yeah, you could do something over here, but is there something better that could be done? So being productive, imagine that. So it would be better than doing nothing at all, or even worse, wasting your time on these social media outlets, or just spending that money somewhere else. You could actually be productive and make money in your spare time. Side hustle. And of course, finally, big old number 10 frugal living tip, guys, which is watch out who you hang out with. Hanging out with expensive people mean expensive habits. They're going to these restaurants, they're going to these fancy places, they're going on vacations all the time. But I'm not saying that doing those things, you know, being adventurous and everything like that, they're not bad. You can live your life. However, if you're always doing that, that's just draining. And yes, that could actually mean limiting your fun. Like we kind of just said with vacations, or you could take cheaper vacations somewhere else, or also concerts. I mean, I love concerts too. You gotta, you know, whatever. But if they're like front row every weekend, that's gonna be killing your bank balance. Again, limit yourself. I'm not saying cut out all fun. We do have to enjoy our lives a little bit, but we have to be smart, not cheap. Smart. So guys, what do you think? If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Love to hear what you guys have to say, and I'll see you in the next one.